Today I am going to be reviewing Losers by Harley LaRue. I keep wanting to say Harley LaRoux, but it's LaRue. And this video will contain spoilers for Losers Part 1 and then the novella The Dare. I have not read Losers Part 2, so that video will come when I end up reading that. It has like they're republishing the books right now, or just like rechanging the covers. A lot of authors have been doing that lately, and I don't know the reason for that, but I've noticed that. And the new covers for this, it's purple and gold, and I want to get them so they can like go together. I'm not gonna get The Dare though, it's like 150 pages, but yeah. So quick, it's like ratings and everything, and quick summary. I rated this what was it? It was 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. And I'll explain later why it wasn't a 5 out of 5 stars. Because it was really good. I did very much enjoy it. But it was like lacking a few things for me. And writing was great. Spice was the spiciest book I've ever read so far. And I've read quite a few dark romance and spicy books. So it was very good. I liked The Dare. It kind of expounded because we never really knew what was going on. We just kind of guessed. And it was very interesting to expound on what had happened at the Halloween party. It was what I sort of guessed, but at the same time, like, not. So, yeah. Summary for this book is a girl named Jessica, but everyone calls her Jess, was a bully to these 4 guys. It mostly pertained to one of the guys. His name's Manson. She fooled around with him a few times in high school, and not the other guys, and ended up getting him expelled and everything. So fast forward, they're now adults. I think she's 22 in this, if I remember correctly. So they're all about 22 years old. She went to college and everything, so she's back home with her parents in her small town that she grew up in. While she I don't know if she's interning. I can't remember if she's interning or if she's just like has a small job and she wants to get hired like as a higher up or with more importance and then move to New York City. That's her goal. Her best friend Ashley is currently in New York City, so I'm sure she wants to kind of like follow her in a way. And she is the popular girl. These 4 boys are like the losers, the freaks, the outcasts. They use all of those terms throughout the whole book. And she goes to this party and I think it was a party, right? I'm trying to remember the beginning of the book. She basically like reconnects with them. And they mention what happened when she was 18. So she graduated high school. After high school, there was a Halloween party and she basically got with Manson and the 3 boys at the same time, kind of. And after that, they were like, hey, like, hang out, let's get together, kind of like, see where this is going, expound on this. And she ghosted them and disappeared and left the city and the state and, like, went back to college. So, now, after college, she's back, runs into them again, and she's like, oh, I have to now deal with these feelings I've been not dealing with for 4 years. So basically, the whole book is about that, like, her coming to terms with her past and who she was in high school compared to after leaving the small town and kind of being on her own, like getting to see like reconcile what kind of person she is currently and truly is and has become, and figuring out like, especially in the terms of Spice terms, what she likes, what she's interested in, because she's been with very vanilla men before, so she wants something like, boy, don't drink my coffee. What do you think you're doing? So, yeah, that's basically the book. They do talk about cars a lot in this book because the boys own like an auto body shop, even though it's mostly Manson and Lucas that run the auto body shop out of their house. But all the boys have an interest in vehicles in some way or another. So there's a lot of like car talk in this book, which kind of surprised me. I did not expect that. The new book does have some art. It's the same. There's the same in the front and the back, which I wish it would. No? Okay. Never mind. But look. Isn't that cute? It was kind of nice because in the beginning, I was very confused which boy was which. Because I was like, okay, wait. Jason's the one with the blue hair and yeah, da. As the book went on, like, I know who's who now. Like, I can tell you who's who right now. But in the beginning, it was a little confusing. And it definitely does help. It definitely does help having this. Kind of getting to visualize what they look like. For me, I liked the height difference because they do talk a lot about the fact Vincent is very tall, which that's Vincent, and he's the tallest of them all. And then Jason's the shortest of them all. I think he said he was 5'9", so he's pretty close to Jess's height. But, I mean, look at the height difference between Vincent and Jess. Like, what? And then Vincent and Jason are together, so, like... But this is also a MMFMM. So there's two boys and two boys that are together, and then they're all together with Jess. I was very confused about that because everyone kept being like MMFMM, and I'm like, oh, okay, like 4 boys and a girl. But there is different relationships within the 5 of them. So Jess basically is with all 4 boys. Jason and Vincent are together, and then Manson and Lucas are together. But yet they're all together with Jess, if that makes sense. So, and this book does talk about, because it's set in Tennessee, did not know that either. Till I was listening to the audiobook, and I was like, why does everybody have southern accents? It's not really thick in the book, but some of the characters have thicker accents than others. And Tennessee, Bible Belt, they talk about the norm of love, like heterosexuality and everything like that. So since we got men that are together, all 5 of them, so they do talk about that a lot, and then how hard that is to have a relationship like that within a sort of religious mindset. And I'm trying to figure out who struggled with it the most. I think Jason struggled with it the most because he grew up, I can't remember if it was Catholic or Christian, but one of those. He went to school for that, and then when he moved, he just went to a normal public school and met Vincent, and Vincent's very hippie, free-going, like, love is love kind of thing. So Jason learned a lot from Vincent, and they do talk about that a lot. And then Jess struggles with that because she's interested in the 4 men all at the like same time, and everything kind of more, I forget what the term is, polyamorous relationship where they like more than one. So all of that, it's done delicately too. It's not like in your face. They do kind of just briefly like talk about it on and off. And Jess is the one that struggles with it the most because she's currently trying to like figure out who she is as a person, who she is amongst the relationship and sexually as well. And then Jason struggled with it early on in high school, so he's kind of already done a lot of that, but Jess is currently doing that at the age that she is in this book. And I am going to get into spoilers now, kind of explain the book. If you're interested in it, read it. It was very good, very easy to read, and I did listen to the audiobook. Audiobook is also very, very good. This is my first book by Harley LaRue. I own one of her other books. I forget what it's called. It's like House of something, House of Rain or something, and it has it's a red cover. I own that, and I read The Dare, which I'm not going to specifically talk and review The Dare. I'm just going to kind of mention it as I review part 1, because it kind of goes along with the timeline of the book, because it starts when they're in high school and Manson gets expelled. So, and then we kind of like jump to the day after Halloween, the party, and then we jump we jump forward to when they're 22 years old, 4 years later, after the Halloween party. So I will kind of talk about The Dare amongst this. And then no spoilers for part 2 again. I haven't read part 2, so this is just review for part 1 and the novella. And then Harley LaRue also wrote, I forget the trilogy. She wrote that trilogy. The trilogy is called something, but Her Soul to Take, that trilogy. I used to own the first book. I never read it, and I ended up giving it to a friend. So I just bought book 1 and book 2 after reading Losers, because I was like, this is so good. I cannot wait to read Her Soul to Take now. So I am getting book 1 and book 2 in the mail, hopefully here soon. So this is now going to be into spoiler territory for Losers. If you don't want to be spoiled, please go. Come back when you've read the book and the novella. If you like being spoiled, I like being spoiled from time to time. So keep watching then. Now we're going to talk about why I rated this book only 4 stars, not 5 stars. And the reason for that is the ending for me. Because they were, and I don't know, I have to read part 2 before I can thoroughly judge. But from where I'm at right now, having only read part 1, it felt very much like it should have been one book. Part 1 and part 2. And that's fine. People do that. I know H.C. Carlton, her new duet, I can't remember my darling, my something darling, I forget what it's called, but MDD is what she keeps abbreviating it as. Haven't read it yet, but she did make an Instagram post recently about the fact that it's part 1 and part 2, and she realized part 2 was very much like build up, climax, end. So if you, I don't know, I don't want to go into a school session about how books are written, because I was obsessed with writing in high school and writing books. So it should be, you set it up, inciting incident, and that starts the change that happens from the beginning of this foundation that you built in the book. And then you should go up, climax, and it should be desperation, no end in sight, and then resolve, and then you see the end. Typically, how it goes. So, this book, Losers Part 1, very much felt like laid out the foundation. We had our inciting incident. Build up, and it stopped. For me, it stopped. Everything with Manson's dad and him, like, knowing Jess kind of hunting her and then protecting her and everything. I thought we were going to have a moment where it built up. Manson's dad did something to Jess or did something to the boys, and then it came down. We go into part 2. But it kind of just stopped. Like, it was building. It's building to this sort of climax, and I thought we were going to get to it. We did not. It got close, and then book ended. So I'm pretty sure in the next book, Manson's dad's going to play a bigger role, and something's going to happen amongst the boys or to Jess. And then they also did that, like, paintballing revenge to Alex. So I think that's possibly going to play into the second book, too, because they kind of just did that, no repercussions. Alex totally deserved it, and there should be no repercussions, because they were even like, well, if he sends us to the cops, then we have the proof from our vehicles. But, I don't know, I feel like there's, like, more with Alex that's going to happen. And now, especially since Jess made the distinct divide that she is no longer part of the popular group, that she's with the losers or the boys specifically. So all of this from part 1 is building up to that in part 2. I just was hoping we would get like a little climax or a build to a climax and a slight resolution, but then it's going to keep building to like the big real one. And it just didn't happen. Like, it just didn't happen. It just kind of ended. It got close, and then it just kind of ended. So that's why I rated it 4 stars. It's great. Writing's great. I love the characters. Every single character. Once you start, like, figure out each character and, like, it's broken down, and you spend some time with them, you remember who's who. Because in the beginning, Manson and Lucas, to me, they were similar. And, I mean, they look similar to me, too. Like, they're those two. Vincent and Jason were the ones that stood out the most, but Manson and Lucas are very similar. So it was a little confusing, but once you get that all figured out... Okay, never mind. That's a TikTok thing. Once you, like, spend time with them and you figure out who is who, and they all have a very distinct personality and distinct likes and interests and distinct kinks, too, it's, like, very easy to... knows who is who, and you start to really care about them. Jess is a very blah vanilla character to me in the beginning, and then she starts to kind of like loosen up, break out of her shell and everything, so her character is a little bit better. I still like the boys better than her. I'm way more interested in the boys than I am with Jess, personally. But I do like Jess with the boys and what Jess brings out in the boys. My favorite boys is Jason. I love Jason. I think he's so cute. I like that he's like a cute little like gamer tech boy, and he likes drifting, like the drifting racing stuff, and then he's like a freak like behind closed doors, but yeah, he's so sweet and so cute. I love his little blue hair. I think it's so cute. I think it's cute that he's like the shortest of them all too. I think he's just adorable. Manson's the OG. I mean, I like what he brings out in Jess. Lucas, he's basically Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I never liked Raphael, so I'm like, eh. I mean, they all could honestly be the Ninja Turtles. They all could be the Ninja Turtles, because that's Raphael. Lucas is Raphael. Manson, I think, would be Leonardo. Jason would be Donatello, and Vincent would be Michelangelo. How am I now just figuring that out? That is too funny. I'm gonna have to make a video and post it, so you'll probably see that before you see this video, but that is too funny. Oh, I love that. But yeah, so Jason's my favorite. Vincent's my second favorite because he is just so free-spirited, hippie, super chill guy, and I just love that. And then the Lucas and Manson are like just more uptight, like Leonardo and Raphael. So if you were wanting to read this book, I think you should. Fair warning, it is very, very spicy. It is very descriptive. It goes into themes that I didn't even know about or had ever heard of, and I was like Googling. I literally would be listening to the audiobook and I'd be like, huh, and then I go on my laptop and Google, and then I'm like, huh. So very educational. I learned a lot. But if you're not into the spice, this book is like 98% spice. If you skip the spice parts, there's no book. There's literally maybe a couple scenes, and those scenes usually lead into spice. So if you're not really into spice or that high level of spice, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't read it. Don't waste your time. You're not gonna like it. If you do like dark romance, this isn't very dark heavy. Like, we're gonna go to like Hunting Adeline and like books like that. Like the dark romance, it's not dark. It's just the romance aspect of it is, compared to like a rom-com, it's like in between the funny romance rom-com and like dark romance. So it would lean more towards dark romance to me. But there's not a lot of dark subjects. There is somewhat heavy topics, but it didn't feel heavy to me. But I'm also kind of numb and dead inside, so that might be why. So if you don't like spice, don't waste your time. Don't read it. If you do like spice and you want high level of spice, this is your book. Read it. You're gonna love it. I loved it. I love the high level of spice. I've been looking for the spiciest book ever, and I finally found it. So I guess the fucking yay. This is my first ever bully romance and a why choose. So for a bully romance, I'm not a big fan of bully romance, but it was a good one, and I was able to enjoy it to some extent because I just don't like bully romances. I think it's like toxic, but whatever. And the why choose, my first ever why choose, absolutely loved it. I want to read all the why chooses there is because what? Why aren't all books why chooses? So I really enjoyed the why choose aspect of the book. Bully romance, not so much, but for a bully romance, I tolerated it. So 4 out of 5 stars. Go read it. Tell me what you think about it. I'm very excited to read part 2. I would just jump into part 2, but there's a bunch of books that I really want to read. So I'm taking a slight pause from part 2. We will pick up part 2. I'm planning probably next month in June to pick it up at some point. Plus, it's not out yet in physical copy, and I want the physical copy. It comes out the end of May, so I'm just going to be reading part 2 next month. So let me know what you think of this book if you've read it. I enjoyed it, so yep. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Also, what do we think of the new library format? I have like, it's like an L-shaped wall of just bookshelves. I love it. It's such a pretty background. I keep looking at it. If you keep seeing my eyes wander, I'm just like, so pretty. But thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your day.